His name is Pete Rollins, and I've had the honor of hearing him live several times. I think of myself as pretty smart, but I can only take this guy in 5-minute bursts, in small doses, because he is so thought-provoking, and I don't always get what he's saying, so I kind of have to pause him from time to time. He says stuff like, the problem is not the problem. The problem is the solution to the problem. And then he loses me. Or, atheism is not atheistic enough. And after listening to that 4 or 5 times, I start to see what he is saying, and it's brilliant. But in the moment, it can be very confusing. So he pointed out something recently. He said, we think we're rational and all of that. But beneath all our rationality, we have all of this magical thinking going on. And then he shared about an experience when he was doing a talk in Belfast, Ireland. He started off by saying, okay, who here believes in angels and demons? Who believes in gods and devils? And virtually no one raised their hands. A few people, but virtually no one. So you don't believe in any of that stuff. And it was a pretty clear no from the audience. And you don't believe in any goblins or fairies or gnomes in the garden? No, they don't. So you're a materialist, right? Yes, we are. So you're a humanist, right? Yes, we are. Great. Then I want you to do me a favor. I want you to pull up a picture of someone you love on your phone. An image of something or someone that you love. He took a minute, and everybody did this. And then he showed them this piece of paper. And on the piece of paper was this 16th century satanic curse. And the satanic curse basically is a way to curse somebody to make sure disaster befalls them. And you have this to remind you of the person. You have to have something that you can think of as you are proclaiming the curse. And that's the picture on your phone. And then Pete said, okay, can somebody come up here on stage and say this curse over the loved one on the phone? Because you know you don't believe in that curse. So who wants to get up here and read the curse while looking at the picture of your loved one? And nobody's moving. And Pete says, okay, I'm not telling you what I believe. I'm telling you what you believe. I just checked, and you don't believe any of this stuff. You don't believe in curses. You don't believe in saying these things is problematic. But somehow they saw it as very problematic. So one of Pete's friends is there, a very secular guy, and Pete asks him to do it. He says, no way. And Pete asks, well, why? He said, oh, no, I'm not doing that because I think that words have power. Now think about this. This is Belfast. This is not Los Angeles where people believe all kinds of crazy things and go to hundreds or thousands of psychics on every corner. It is secular Belfast. Not many believe stuff like curses. And Pete knows that his friend definitely doesn't. So Pete comments that if he had said to him the other night that words have power, and that would result in something terrible that would happen on the other side of the world, he would have laughed it off. He wouldn't believe that at all. You see, most of Northern Irish humor is simply about cursing each other all the time. So Pete says, okay, say the curse over me. And the man said, no, I'm not going to do it. Now, the argument Pete was making is that some curse that he found on the internet, and he changed the words to make it sound a bit more sinister, that this was going to do anything and result in anything bad. That's a ridiculous thought. So look at the cover of this book. Magic spells to curse your enemies, to hex your ex, and jinx the jerks in your life. Look at that. Do you believe in that? Yes or no? And the back is even crazier. This book will teach you how to make your own justice. And curses vary from giving someone a pimple to destroying someone's business. But that's what's called magical thinking. Most of us are convinced that we don't engage in magical thinking. But in reality, we have magical thinking going on all the time. We're just not aware of it. That's why Pete says that atheism is not atheistic enough. There are words for this. Some might say juju or talisman or a charm or an amulet or a totem, an icon, an idol, or a figurine. What is this? This is an item that we know is not magical, but we treat it as if it is. Money can be a totem. We know it's not a magical thing, but we treat it as if it's a magical thing. You know, that special car, we know it's not magical, but we treat it like it is. We feel that it's going to fix everything in my life when I get that amazing car that can do all of this cool stuff. It's going to make my life so much better. It's going to make everything good. And we have lots of magical objects like this. My argument is actually that we have to get rid of that magical thinking. The point of the curse story is that the people in the room didn't realize they still believed in a bizarre type of God. There was an experiment. They got together a group of atheists and theists, let's say believers, and they got them to say negative statements, neutral statements, and positive statements. And some of those statements were evoking God, and then some did not evoke God. The ones that evoked God, they were positive. If they were positive, that was like a prayer. Something like, I hope that God blesses my family. A neutral one might be, glasses help you see better. And a negative one might be something like, I hope that God kills everybody I love in a horrible fire. Right? That is evoking God and negative. And they were actually worse than that. They were really specific. So what they find after they wired people up and checked their brain waves, they find that atheists and theists both had the same level of anxiety and stress over evoking God to do terrible things to their families and to their friends, whether they were believers or not believers. And this didn't just have to do with saying terrible things, because when people said, I hope my family dies in the fire, the stress level was less than when they said the same but were evoking God. So what they discovered is that these atheists both unconsciously still seem to believe in some sort of supernatural being. You might think that the theists were more consistent. I'm not sure. Because if you have a belief in God, where if you say, I wish you would kill my family in a fire, then God would respond, that's a bizarre thing to ask, but sure, if that's what you want, I'll do it. I don't think any of the participants would want to believe in that sort of God. Do you see how that's a superstitious view of the divine that you can so easily manipulate and say, oh, do something evil to my family, and then he'll do it? Is that really a view of God that you would recommend? Do you even believe in that kind of God? But by not being willing to evoke, maybe you do. The point is, unconsciously, we do believe in some superstitious gods. And if you don't confront your unconscious beliefs, they continue to act in your life. All of that to say we don't often know what we believe. To clarify, there are 3 things that people think they think. Number 1, I know what I believe. My belief is aligned with reality. And number 3, I want to talk about my beliefs to get other people to agree with me. But in actual reality, I don't know what I believe. I don't think I'm transparent to myself. I don't think I really know what I believe. Sometimes I'm the last person who knows what I actually think or believe. Secondly, I don't necessarily think that my beliefs are aligned with reality. And number 3, you don't necessarily want to propagate your beliefs. Some of us have crazy beliefs, terrible, dark, horrible beliefs. And the last thing we want to do is throw them out there. We don't want to spread our beliefs around. I want to get rid of that belief. We have some bizarre beliefs and bizarre thoughts and feelings. They started off when you're a kid, but you learn to repress certain beliefs that are weird, which means you cover over them. You hide them with rationality, but they still continue to function. So try this. Don't think of Christianity as a set of beliefs. Instead, Christianity is partly about exposing the beliefs that we have and that we cannot face.